Leadership every day, the 3 reminders. In the daily work of leadership, we always have many things on our mind, and we have urgent priorities, requests, decisions. Those are everywhere, and we've got to always be thinking about those. But I think there are 3 things that we need to be always reminded of as we navigate our day. The 3, I call them the 3 leadership constants of your daily life. Number 1 is manage yourself. And this is number 1. Manage yourself is in two big buckets. First of all is personal wellness. Overwork is a myth. Overwork is not a goal. Overwork should not be rewarded. You should not say, the only way I can get through this is by sacrificing my day, my life, my wellness, my family, etc. It's a myth. The old cliche, it is a marathon, not a sprint, is absolutely true. And so you have to have the notion of personal wellness as far as your own balance, nutrition, exercise, etc. It's cliche, but managing yourself is number 1 because you can't do the others without managing yourself. The second is behavioral. How do you manage yourself? How do you develop, understand, and embrace EQ? How are you more in touch with people and empathetic, and your self-awareness and self-control? Because you're always going to be tested, and the more times that when you're tested, you can manage yourself and get through it with a little bit more understanding, a little more grace, the better off you are. And that's control. There's always going to be somebody who wants to hook you. And that's where you have to take that deep breath, acknowledge what they say, challenge them, value their dissent, because, if dissenters may be unhappy, but they have solutions. They want you to listen to their solutions. They're not just randomly shooting fire at you. Manage yourself. Second, develop great leaders and teams. The simple problems have been solved or are being solved today. We need great leaders and teams, and this is a continuous process, but it has to be intentional. You have to invest in training, you have to invest in development. But also there's nothing quite like handcrafting and mentoring, and so you have to have time in your daily life is not to just work inside the work, but to work with the people, because it is amazing how you can do something to help a leader through a difficult situation, and it doesn't necessarily go that well at the moment. It's a little messy. And then a year or 2 later, they will say, remember that thing you talked about, the difficult crowd? I ran into a group of zoologists the other night that were just going to eat my lunch, and those skills really work. So very intentional about developing great leaders and teams, including both technical skills and leadership skills. And the third one is to learn relentlessly. I talk about the power of inexperience, because I went from one job where I had 6 years of residency, 4 years of medical school, certification, qualification, examination, to a job where my training was on the job, just in time, trial and error. And so omniscience is not part of the skill set that most of us have. So learning relentlessly says you have to be very intentional about how you learn yourself with your teams. Again, it's nice to learn it in a group environment, because it's not just an intellectual arms race out there. You have to have a comprehensive learning strategy. So manage yourself, develop great leaders and teams, and learn relentlessly. Those are your 3 mantras every day as you look at the number of things you actually have to solve.